Hi everyone. So yeah, it's been a month since I talked to you last, and honestly, I didn't even notice that it's been a month. I'm really sorry. I kind of like want to update you on the things that I've been up to, but also I don't remember all of the things that I've been up to because they all kind of melted together in one big blob. Um, so maybe I'll start by telling you about like today, right? So it's 2 o'clock almost on a Tuesday, and we had around, I think, 2 or 3 air raids at night. Well, one of them started in the evening, last evening, last day, not last night, right? Around 6 or 7 o'clock, there were airplanes in Odessa, not in Odessa, in the Black Sea, but Odessa was in danger of getting hit by missiles, but there were thankfully no launches. And they have been kind of terrorizing Odessa region again. But like it was also, I'm sitting on the floor in the hallway by the entrance door, and around that time I had also a delivery of groceries. When if I need to order a lot of heavy stuff, I don't like going by myself, so I usually order delivery. It's sometimes free if you anyway. So I had the grocery delivery guy. It was really funny that you're sitting on the floor, the door kind of rings, you just stand up, press the button to let the guy into the building, and just you meet this person, they give you the bag, you take the bag, and then you sit down again because you still have to be in the hallway. I don't know why. It's kind of a really random episode, but it felt just funny to me. I don't know why, just because like I am already in the hallway. But yeah, that person had to work during an air raid, and yeah, not fun. And then we had at around 1 a.m. we had a drone attack, and that one was pretty scary because they were like exploding all around me. And honestly, I feel a little bit like a child sometimes because like parents during air raids, a lot of parents they put headphones on their children so they don't hear the explosions and don't get scared. And it turns out that I am just as much of a child like that because like I know that there is an attack, that I know I've heard explosions really close to me. I am aware of what this war is, but if I put headphones and I still hear the explosions. I still know that they're close, but my brain doesn't panic as much. I don't know how it works. It's also kind of funny to me that the conscious and unconscious states of mind, they work so separately from each other. It was like I don't know, really big example of that to me. Is just like, yeah, I now like try really hard to like I have these headphones that are really old and they don't keep their charge for a very long time. So I have to always like it's one of my priorities now that my headphones have to always be charged so that I can put them on during the air raid and listen to some music, because that way I don't get as scared as I am without them. Because like, yeah, one of the things that I tend to do during an air raid is just sit and listen really carefully for all of the sounds around me. And with headphones and with music, I still do, but again, it somehow it calms my brain better than not doing that. So yeah, I was sitting in the like at I think around 2 or 3 a.m., something like that. I was sitting under the air raid. It was the drones, the Shaheeds. And then I went to bed, and then I woke up again at 7 o'clock because there was another air raid. This time it was a threat of ballistic missiles. And so I think it was over at around 8 or something, and it was time to get up because I had to go and do some bureaucracy quest. I mean, it's a long story, but yeah, I had to get up and go to. Okay, so I don't like eating early in the morning. It's like it's 2 o'clock. By the way, I still haven't eaten. It's not okay, but here we are. So I decided I will not have breakfast, and I will just go to this administrative building to do my bureaucracy quest. But on the way, I stopped by a coffee place, and this is a coffee place next to my house. It was opened by a veteran who participated in liberating Kherson. And we're kind of, sort of, I don't know, friends, not friends, but we're like friendly with each other, and they're helping us with collecting the metal cans for our trench candles. Basically, this is something that we do. We kind of ask little small businesses around the city to agree to collect these cans for us. Like, it is easier for people to just know the address of like some store or a coffee place, or I don't know, pet store, and just go to the nearest one and drop their cans, then to try and schedule a meeting with a volunteer, right? So it's just, you have to call them, arrange the time and place where it is convenient for both of you. It is much easier to just partner with the small businesses like that. So this is what we do, and this coffee place, I asked them to help us, and they agreed. So now I have to, like, if I go there, I ask if they have any cans for us, and so I should pick them up. So yeah, I got my coffee, I got on a trolley bus, and I went to this administrative building. And bureaucracy quests are kind of tedious, but it was sort of okay. It took me a few hours of, like, I stood in the queue. I did one part. They told me you have to go and make the copies of these documents. Then I go make the copies. I return. I stand in the queue. They give me a check. You have to go pay this check and bring me back the receipt. I go pay the check. Then I stand in a queue. So it's kind of like that. It wasn't like the queues were not long. And it, like, everybody was really polite and nice. I think it was a nice experience, except that one time the clerk lady got yelled at by an angry old lady who didn't have the correct documents, and somehow it was the clerk's fault. Unfortunately, things like that happen. But otherwise, I was really happy with how I handled everything. I was more or less prepared. I had all the documents, and yes, I had to stand in the queue 3 times, and it took me a few hours altogether. But other than that, it was pretty okay. Not tedious as it can get. So I decided that I was really happy with myself and really kind of proud of handling it that well. So I decided, like, the weather is nice, it's sunny, it's spring, the trees are green, the trees are blooming, and I decided I'll just walk home, right? So it's like a 40-minute walk, but I'll just walk, I'll enjoy the weather, I'll listen to music, I'll just have a nice day for myself. And so this is what I did. I was walking, everything is nice, and I was walking past this big, like, we have this big square in the center of the city, and as I am walking past the square, the air raid starts shooting. Just, there is no air raid alarm, there is no siren, they just start shooting. You hear the weapons like firing. And what do? You pick up your phone, and they say, okay, that is fine, everything is okay. There is a reconnaissance drone around the city. We're just trying to shoot it down. This doesn't carry any threat to the civilians. You just keep doing your thing. It's okay. But in the square, it is kind of surrounded by other buildings, and it's echoing really loudly, and all the birds in the square are terrified, and they're flying up and down. And you kind of also are scared, because since it's echoing, you cannot understand which side the sound is coming from. And yes, from this chat that there is no threat. It's okay. There is no air raid alarm, so it's okay. It's just war. The soldiers are working. There is a war going on. Like, you forgot, with all of that stuff, with all of the documents and nice weather and spring, there's actually a little detail of war. So yeah, I decided, okay, so that was kind of a little stressful. It kind of ruined my mood a little bit. I'll go buy myself a lemonade. I would be walking past my favorite bakery. I'll just stop by and buy myself a lemonade. So you're just standing there in the coffee place, getting your pomegranate lemonade. And then one of these, again, chats with air defense soldiers, they tell you, okay, now we have an air raid, please go hide, there's a ballistic threat. And kinda, if a reconnaissance drone was here, 5 minutes ago, it kind of makes sense that this is the area that they will be targeting. So what you do, you pick up your phone, And again, there is this little chatbot that you just go to, you drop your location, and it gives you like a top 5 of nearest bomb shelters. This is Ukraine, baby. Like, just, you know. So yeah, I looked for these bomb shelters, but the thing is that there is no official air raid. The sirens are not sounding. And the bomb shelters will, like, if they are, and as they usually are in some like residential buildings or administrative buildings, they will be closed until the official air raid. So like, and there is no siren, so you're like, okay, what do I do? Ballistic missiles, I remind you, flies for 2 minutes from Crimea to Odessa. You have 2 minutes to get to shelter. But the shelters are closed. So yeah, so I basically nothing to do. So I walk to my store because again, I was like planning my route that I have to stop by one store to pick up like a detergent and stuff, and then to a different store to pick up the bread. So I'm like planning my route through all of these stores, and so yeah, you go with your pomegranate lemonade through again a different square with no shelters around you, checking up this chat about this ballistic threat, and then they kind of say, okay, so sorry everybody, there is no air raid alarm. It wasn't an alarm for you, like civilians. It was an alarm for us, for soldiers, that we have to kind of be ready in case there is a threat. So like, yeah, I don't, it's different levels of threats, stuff like that. So yeah, again, you go through this beautiful square in a beautiful spring day with like trees and birds are singing, and everything is nice, and you have a lemonade, and right this moment they're bombing Dnipro. So like, it's a different city, so it's fine for you, but a few like dozen kilometers away from you, there's explosions and stuff like that, and still they're trying to shut down this reconnaissance drone around your head. So yeah, it's just basically I went to the stores, I bought my things, and here I am. And that was like the past 24 hours. This is how just normal life is. It's just this is our normality. Here I am. Yeah, I'm watching those chats. They're all on my screen here, and yeah, the ballistic threat is over for that city, but there is a different. Okay, so there is a different threat on the north of the country. There is always something going on. They have changed, they mean Russians, they have changed their tactics since the aid for Ukraine by US was confirmed. Thank you, US. By the way, I was watching that voting. Like, I was sitting there like a football. I had drinks, I had chips, and I was watching them vote. Yeah, I'm really grateful. We really need that. And basically, the Russians, they're trying to do as much damage as they can before this aid arrives. So here we are. Once again, sleep is really hard. I don't get enough of it. And actually, like, if we, what do you call it, dial back a little bit from like the previous video, after I recorded that previous video, I actually took advice of my friends from Lviv, and I went to Lviv for several days just to sleep. So basically, the whole idea of going to a different city was to just be in a city when there is no air raids every single night, and where I can sleep. So just to sleep for like 2 or 3 days. It was really, I want to say funny, but it's not funny. When I got on the train and I was going to Lviv from Odessa, there was a mass attack on Ukraine, and they were mainly targeting Lviv. So the missiles were flying through the same regions that I was kind of, riding through. And my friends were, again, nobody's sleeping that night because everybody is on their phones watching the trajectories of these missiles and stuff through the chats that post updates where they're flying. I will have to turn off these chats because they distract me. So yeah, and yeah, my friends, nobody is sleeping. We're texting with each other, and my friends are like laughing at me that I'm trying to escape missiles, but missiles are chasing me. So yeah, we have fun here in Ukraine. This is the type of jokes that we kind of make. And while I was in Lviv, there was yet another attack on Lviv. So like from the 3 nights that I was there, I slept 2. But I slept the 2 nights. It was really nice. And I also didn't go alone. I went with my friend. She is also a volunteer, and she also needed some sleep. So we just basically went and like spent several days there. I have lots of friends in Lviv, and I met with lots of them, and it was really nice to see them all. And I went to the forest. I really like the forest, and it was I don't know, I just rested with my soul, if not with my like if I didn't even have enough sleep, I just change of location. Sometimes if sorry, there's a pigeon on my window. He is calling me, but I'm busy. I'll get to later. So yeah, I really like the forest and meeting my friends and stuff like that. And we kind of spontaneously with my friend, we went to see the opera, and it was a Ukrainian opera, Natalka Poltavka, based on a Ukrainian story. And I don't know, it was also really, it was really touching for me to just, sit there during the war under the Russian attacks and watching the Ukrainian opera during the time when they tried to destroy Ukrainian culture. It was honestly really, really touching for me. And like, again, like sometimes, like usually when you go to like a movie, a theater and stuff like that, before the performance, they have this little announcement that says, please turn off your phones. And yeah, we have this announcement that says like, hi everyone, thank you for coming, please turn on your phones. Also, if an air raid starts, you will be escorted to the bomb shelter that we have in the theater. Our like workers will help you, will show you the way. And also, if a power outage happens, don't worry, we have generators. So this is the type of little like kind of announcements that we get before performances and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, after that, I returned to Odessa, and it was hard after a little like break that you have going away. You return to the same hell, and I mean, even though like yes, emotionally I got recharged a little bit, I got a little more resources to just handle all of that. It was still really difficult to just get back to all of that. And one night it was my first, I spent an entire night in the bomb shelter because there was like an air raid started at around 11 o'clock, and I went to the bomb shelter because of, I mean, it depends on how nervous I am, how scared I am, how likely I think my area of the city will be targeted by the attack. So sometimes I pick my birds in a small carrier cage, and I go to the bomb shelter. And sometimes I just stay in the hallway, like from the recordings that you saw. But that time I was nervous, worried, and scared. So I picked my birds and I went to the bomb shelter because I thought it will be like a short air raid. A short air raid, I mean like around 2-3 hours, because the drones usually take around 2-3 hours to get through all of them. But while I was sitting there, the drones were running out, and they were like saying, okay, so we're almost caught all of the drones. There are no new drones coming from the sea. But at the time they see a notification that planes took off from Savasleika. They have this little airdrome, I don't know, in Russia. And basically it means that if they are going, like if they see that they are going towards launching positions in the Caspian Sea, these planes have to get to this Caspian Sea within like 2 or 3 hours. And then they do the launches, and the missiles like fly towards Ukraine for about an hour. And then they kind of fly around Ukraine, inside of Ukraine, for also like another hour or so. So basically, I stayed in that basement from 11 a.m. to from 11, what do you call it? No, p.m., right? Evening. From the 11 o'clock in the evening until 7 o'clock in the morning. I slept on a chair leaning against the wall. That was really hard night, and I also got cold because I was in this sweater basically. I didn't take my coat or anything because again I thought that I will not be there for that long. So I got a little cold and stuff like that, and yeah, this is how life is. This is what I've been up to. This is I guess there are some other things that happened. But as I keep saying, this is all the same. I work, I volunteer, I forget to eat, I don't sleep well, I am really tired. Here we are. Yes, kind of these days I'm really worried. I mean, today and yesterday, because they have been showing again increased interest towards Odessa, and not just Odessa, but my area of Odessa where I live. So again, I expect some air raids later tonight. Today, definitely tonight there will be shaheeds. I mean, I'm ready to bet money on it. I don't know again if I will go to the bomb shelter or I will stay in the hallway. I haven't decided yet. I'll decide it when the time comes. But I am doing my best. I am really trying really hard to take care of myself. Like, I will finish recording this and I will go eat. And then I have to do a little homework because I am also I like studying, basically. I mean, you mostly know me as a Ukrainian living in the war. I don't tell you a lot about myself. I mean, I tell you about myself, right? I don't know. Anyway, I like studying. I always liked studying, and right now I'm studying Crimean Tatar. I told you about this. Crimean Tatar language. And I also kind of impulsively started taking a course on art composition because I also like art, right? This is my paintings, pictures. So I decided, I never understood composition, and every teacher that I had, and I asked them to explain composition to me, and they told me you have to feel it, you have to understand it emotionally. And I need to understand. I don't have the feeling. I don't have this internal natural understanding of composition. I need the rules. Please give me the rules. So I found the person who can give me the rules on art composition, and I'm taking this course on art composition. I like it a lot. It really, again, I haven't honestly done any art through the entire winter for obvious reasons listed above. No sleep, no food, no nothing. But this course kind of gives me a little inspiration, and it's spring also, and the sun. Winter in Odessa, I mean in Ukraine, I guess, is really depressing because there is no sun, and I don't do well without sun. And right now we have the sun, and I feel better. And the colors, the green leaves, the flowers. So yeah, I feel better, and I get this urge to do some art. And yes, we are really kind of emotionally uplifted after that aid for Ukraine. Oh my God, we had no weapons. I don't know if you heard that on the news or not, but there was a power station near Kiev that got destroyed, completely destroyed, totaled to the ground. And it was destroyed because while Russians launched 11 missiles at the station, we shot down 7 of them, and we just literally ran out of missiles, of air defense, or I don't know, rockets, missiles, whatever they're called. So yeah, knowing that we will kind of get just the weapons to protect ourselves, it is nice. But I also understand that for the next several weeks will be difficult, because I hope weeks, I hope not longer. I hope it will be just weeks, not months. Because Russians will be trying to do as much damage as they can before this aid arrives. And we can't do nothing about it. We just have to kind of deal with it, endure it, wait, whatever. But I do hope that things will change for the better soon, hopefully. I'm kind of optimistic. I'm trying to be an optimist. I mean, I have ups and downs. Sometimes I'm really optimistic and I just walk around saying, it's fine. Why are you worried? I mean, I know it's kind of hard right now, but it will be fine. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, we're all gonna die. But I mean, again, it's okay for everybody, I think. So yeah, I start rambling at this point, and I think there will be nothing new and important. I mean, I don't. I know there were other events that happened that I can't remember. But I'll try to record you videos more often and maybe write something. I don't know. For some reason, just recording in front of a camera these days feels easier than sitting down and typing. Don't have an explanation for that. I hope you're okay with video format. But I will try, honestly, to just check in more often. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for thinking about me, for remembering me, and for like being here. We do really need your support. We need you to keep thinking about Ukraine. Just keep helping us, because we will fight for as long as it takes. But Russia is big compared to us. We're kind of small, and we need help. So please keep helping Ukraine. Please keep spreading information and like talking to your friends, reposting things online. Everything helps. Every little bit helps. So I'll see you soon. I'll go have some breakfast. Bye bye.